I wanted to talk to you about a slight misunderstanding that once I cleared up, everything changed in terms of relationships, and especially in contentious relationships. So in leadership development, often, almost in every engagement, at some point, I'm working with a client around some kind of difficult relationship that they have. They often have one or a few people where the relationship doesn't feel as strong as it could be. And often what they're noticing is that they've gotten into a familiar dance with that particular individual. So one person takes one position, the other person takes a separate position, and they just don't seem to be able to find either common ground or see the other person's perspective. And so they start doing this little dance, and it just goes on sometimes for years. And one of the understandings, one of the things that I saw personally around relationships that cleared up so much of there was in terms of contentious and difficult scenarios comes down to this very simple distinction, this simple understanding. And this is what I shared with this client just recently. So we often kind of believe that this is what we're dealing with, right? The outside is the circumstance, the situation we're dealing with, and it is what it is. The outside is what it is. And so we're both here sitting in this bubble of reality, and we have different perspectives on that reality, and we can't find common ground around it. And I used to remember being so frustrated with the other person when we could not find that common ground that I would think, well, if we're in this reality, we're both here, we both are seeing the same thing, how can you not understand my perspective? How can you not agree with me on this? And I would just get stuck on this. Well, but I don't understand how you get to your conclusion versus how I got to mine, because are we not sitting in the same reality? And I thought that was almost like a silly question, but actually it's at the heart of so much conflict and so much stress around relationships. Because we think we live in this outside-in framework. Reality is what it is, and we're both reacting to it differently, and I cannot understand why you're reacting to it this way and I'm reacting to it that way, and why can you not see what I see, right? But in fact, we live in an inside-out framework, and so we're each projecting, developing, creating our own reality moment to moment. And so when I started to see people kind of living in their own little bubble of reality that they're creating in the moment based on all sorts of different things, but the main piece being that they're creating in that moment their own reality. And that within that reality, what they're doing, what they're saying makes perfect sense. And that my job was to really get curious about what reality they were living in, to seek to understand before being understood. That made all the difference. Because no longer did I think, like, what the heck is going on? Like, why can you not see what I see? Because reality is reality. But once I understood that we're all creating reality moment to moment, and that within that reality, our behavior, our words, our perspective makes total sense, well, that changed everything. Because rather than conflict and contention and difficulty, what this brings is curiosity and compassion for the other and for me. And so take a moment and consider, what does it do to come to the realization that we're all creating our own reality moment to moment, and it makes perfect sense what we're doing?